Today we are working on cutouts for these big giant wall sections here, which will later have like an exoskeleton structure over them for mounting hooks and straps and all that. I'm here with Devin today, one of my best buds. He was in part one when we made that like really temporary floor structure thing when I first got the van. So he's gonna be helping me out again. We've already got a template made for this panel right here. So a cardboard template. We're gonna overlay that over some plywood and just get that cut out. But we've been over that all before with all the ceiling panels, so I'm not gonna bore you with showing all the process for that again. If you wanna see how that's done, just check out the other episodes and it'll all be in there. Nice and choppy, nice and sloppy choppy, just how I like it. Oh man, there's like a huge bow in it. Alright, I'm gonna need your help. It looks good, but we'll have to set the camera down for that. So. Alright, here we go. We got our 3 panels and Devin, oh, and he just pooped himself, I think. Seductive as shag carpet, but it'll work. So we shake up that Super 77. Just shake it up nice and good. It's a little warmer over here. We'll just... Hey Devin, can you go pick up that piece of carpet for me?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Oh boy. Get him
Dude, I think that's a good look.
I think this is nice because if I get too hot, get a little breezy.
Nice flap. Good afternoon. It is another day working on the van here, and now that we've got the side panels done, we're gonna work on mounting the panels. So what we're gonna do for this is essentially we're gonna have some strips of metal coming down from these bolt holes here. They're already pre-threaded holes conveniently. So there'll be little tabs coming down there. Then basically I'm gonna weld up a big rack, we can call it, that'll press the panel against the insulation in the wall. And that rack will also act as a good mounting point for strapping down bikes. I'm gonna probably put netting there so I can stuff gear. Like it'll have a whole bunch of pockets, whole bunch of options for mounting. But it'll be one big rack. There'll be a 3/4 inch tube, steel tube coming down from each one of these threaded holes. Then there will be a cross beam welded to the back, and then another cross beam welded to the back. So it'll all be one big section. That should be a good, strong way to do it. Also, it's pretty space efficient. A lot of the van builds I see, they basically put the panel like up to these surfaces, and then you kind of waste all of that space. You're essentially shortening the width of the vehicle by 6 inches overall once it's said and done. So I'm trying to have the most efficient use of space here and not waste all this good like window cutout area where it's set in right here. last piece. Alright, we've got our basic layout here. I'm having my dad help me out. It's a little hard to do it with a cast in my hand, tightening clamps and holding things together, so we're just getting everything clamped down, then we're gonna tack weld it together and then do a final weld and some other stuff and see how it fits. So what we did here is put up these little 1/8" strips, which are actually going to be our real mounting strips. What's going to happen now, and my dad's not out here to help me, and it's really awkward to hold this, but the board will be behind this frame, then the frame we'll push the board on like that. Now what we have to do is make little spacers for these in-between spaces to weld from, oh shoot, I just like smacked the camera in there, to weld from that piece to this piece. So what that'll do is then when we tighten it down, it'll clamp this nice and tight against there. Alright, I think this is day 3 of working on the walls here. Starting to make some pretty good progress. I skipped a lot of the video of getting this all together because I really just want to get it done, and I have to have my dad help me with pretty much all of it since I can't weld easily with this and blah blah blah, lining and clamping things, and yeah, it just doesn't work well. So I skipped a lot of filming that just to get it done, but as you can see here, it's looking pretty good. We got these top mounts up here. So basically, as I said before, this board will be moved up and it'll basically just get pinched on this rack. There'll be other mount points here which will get screwed into this surface, and then also for a little more reinforcement, we'll have a 4" strip of 1/4" thick flat stock aluminum. It's gonna go over there and it'll give a lot more rigidity actually to these pieces, because right now they're kind of floppy. And then also we're gonna have another plate welded to the top here that'll go flush with this surface, and it'll be screwed to that too. This will allow for hooks to be tied around here. Oop, and there we go. For bike tie downs, whatever. I mean, you could strap up a hammock in between the two walls here, really anything. So we got that one all done. The other rack is all welded up. We're working on making the little connector pieces for this, and then we have to hold that up in there, C-clamp to here, unscrew it, bring it back to the welding table, and get all those welded together. Big Stunt Muffins here, aka Full Throttle, helping with the van build with that OSHA approved dangling hair down by the blade. Ding! Another one done. Oh yeah, you sand that hunk of steel. the glamour shot.
Whip it.
Want me to explain what's going on? So, I mean, maybe more for you, I guess. Not the people watching. They won't give a damn. They just want to see me drill some holes. So we're gonna basically find where the edge of this vise is. So then, when we put the part in, we can have it like offset, so we know where our hole position is in relation to the edge of the part. Alright, so we're using this tool called an edge finder. It's basically like a little shaft that goes askew once you get up to the edge. So like right there, that means we're now 0.1 inches. The center of this spindle is 0.1 inches from the edge of the hole, or the edge of the vise there. So we're gonna move it, or we're gonna zero it out. Look up here, look up on the readout. So we're gonna put that at 0, and then we're gonna go another 0.1 inches. You're a bad filmer. So now we're gonna go another 0.1 inches in Y, zero it out again. So now this spindle is centered on that edge line there. We're gonna go do the same thing on the x-axis. So you see how it's like all centered up, and then it shifts right there. So what we want is, we want to watch for it when it first shifts. So that's the edge. We're gonna crank it over 0.1 inches so it's centered. And we're gonna do that by reading the screen here. That number that's changing. So we wanna go to 0.1 and then hit this reset, and now it's on 0. So now we know where the end of our part is, and also where the edge of our part is, which is gonna be on this vise right here. Grab a 3/8 drill. We're gonna push that up against the stop there.
Big glare.
Clamp it down. Right now we're on the edge of the part, and now we wanna get our centered in the part, so the hole's in the middle, and we wanna go a 1/2 inch in this way in the X direction from the edge. So we're gonna look it up at the screen here, and our part is 3/4 inch wide, so we wanna bring this halfway to 0.375, and then the X dimension we wanna crank over to a 1/2 inch from the edge. And that's close enough. So that gives us our position right here, 1/2 inch in from the edge, and center there. So now we can drill our holes. Grab a little dabble lube, and then drill the hole, give her a little blow job. Ew, gross. We've got our pieces here that you still have no idea what they're for. And here, you can clamp for me. Alright, so we're putting them in the brake here. Clamp it. No, don't bend it, clamp it. No, the clamp. There we go. Alright, so we pinch that down, grab this lever here, and then we bend it up like that. And then we unclamp it. Cue Michelle. And then there we go. So we're making all these pieces identical. Guten Jobben. I think that's German for good job. And there we go. Now we have all these parts just for fun. We're not going to use them for anything. So we made these pieces for the bottom sections. We have those at the top, which you already know about. Then at the bottom, instead of having all that complicated stuff, we don't have any pre-threaded holes that line up with these verticals here. So this bend here will become flush with the edge of the window that's on an angle, and we'll just bolt it directly to there on like the inside of the window cutout. How are your stocks? Are they up or down? Going up? Good.
Take it to dinner first.
In the van with our racks, our beautiful racks. going to drop them off at powder coating. Bye. So it's like the 6th day working on these darn walls. And finally, it's come to a point where they're pretty much finished. The racks are up on all 3 of the panels that I made them for. So those 2 there. And then this one over here. Oh, now I can show you what all those little pieces. So we have that strut there. Then there's another little one back here, and that's basically gives us a lot more strength pulling in this direction, and then these ones give a lot of strength for downforce. So we did that on all of these here, and then the bottom is just bolted on right there. So the only thing that's not maybe completely permanent would be the specific bolts I'm using. I just kind of used what was laying around the shop. So they may be replaced with like stainless steel bolts, but essentially, or some like button heads, but essentially it's all in place. It's mounted with the exception of these ones right here. See these 2 right here, they're just loose in there because we thought when we made the rack that if you reach around here, you'd be able to access the hole. You'd think so, right? But I don't know if you can really tell. No, you're not gonna be able to see. But if you look up in there, there's like a double layer sheet metal. It's kind of like a bubble. It's hard to explain, but basically you drill a hole through there and it doesn't come out the other side. So I don't know if we'll have to take like a cutoff wheel and make a big hole so we can get our fingers in there to get a nut on it or what, but one way or another, we'll have to get a nut on the back side or put some sort of plug thing in there, threaded plug thing. I really don't know what I'm gonna do at this point, but at least they're up and I can start working on some other parts, like getting trim pieces up along here. Those all got powder coated, by the way. Looks really nice. It's just a textured black. These aluminum strips I'm gonna end up powder coating eventually. Pretty much everything will get powder coated. I like dark things. I don't like shiny things, especially in here. It's just a lot more warm feeling when everything's black or dark gray, stuff like that. So thanks for watching and hope to see you on the next one. So this is what we do, right? We just jam out in the car, in the van.
Yeah.